So the first thing I want to be talking about is kind of how you perceive yourself. So how would you describe yourself as a person?
Oh, wow. I think I would describe myself as determined, can set goals for myself, creative, not very focused, and I'd like to think of myself as funny.
All right. What's something that your parents taught you as a child that you still follow today?
Something that my parents taught me, to pay attention to how other people feel. I think that it's like super important, and I always have to like pick up on social cues really well.
And is there anything like you would change about how you were raised? Like maybe something that you disagree with about how like what you were taught as a child?
Not with my parents. I didn't love where I grew up. I thought it was really, I didn't love the people I grew up with, like the kids I went to high school with. There are not many people of the same religion as me where I'm from, so it was like kind of weird to kind of be Jewish where I'm from. So that obviously would have been a little nicer if there were more people like me, but nothing with how my parents like raised me.
And do you have like a mantra that you kind of live by, maybe like based off of some of the experiences you had, or?
This is so cliche, but like everything happens for a reason. Like I do believe that everything happens for a reason, but I think that there's a way to shape things how you want it to come out. Like I think that you, in order to like succeed in life, you have to put yourself out there as much as you can, and if you do your best to try and do something, but like it doesn't respond or you don't get what you want, it wasn't meant to be.
I like that.
Okay.
Kind of switching topics now, talking about school, University of Miami. Who or what made you want to come to school here?
I think the city of Miami made me want to come to school here. I've been vacationing here since I was really little with my family. Really, really, really happy times are associated with Miami for me. And as I got older and I visited this school, I just like fell in love with it. It doesn't even have the major I want to study, but I really wanted to be in this city. So I picked it and I ED'd, and I have never been happier.
So I was going to ask what you are studying, but what was the major that you wanted to study?
I wanted to study fashion because I didn't have that great of a high school experience. I wanted a real college experience, and that shifted my focus to like a good 4-year school, which is what brought me here.
Nice.
Sorry.
No, so what are you studying now?
I'm studying creative advertising now.
Do you think that was like you like settled for it, or is it something that you're like you found that you're more interested in than you thought, or?
Originally, I settled for it. I wanted to do business just starting, and then I could not handle. I just didn't want to do math. So I'm studying creative advertising, which is like it's like a graphic design based course, which I like. I mean, I don't want to be a graphic designer. I don't want to be in advertising, but it has a lot to do with magazines, which obviously appeals to me because I want to be in fashion.
You did an internship at Nylon Magazine last year,
yeah.
Right? How did you get that job?
There's a website called freefashioninternships.com, and you pay $3 for an application, and you pay $3, and then it sends your information and your resume. So I made my own resume. I like designed it on InDesign, and I sent it, and I got picked for an interview, and I went in and interviewed.
Oh, and what were your like day-to-day tasks there?
Basically like checking in samples, checking out samples. By samples I mean like clothing that we got from companies for shoots. So organizing those to be sent out for like photo shoots. Sometimes like more towards the end of the job, I was doing more on-set photo shoot work, and occasionally I got to like sit with I wasn't the only intern. There was like a big team of us, but we got to sit with like the head fashion editors and go through like it was at that time it was fall winter 17, so we got to like go through the trends and pick out stuff for different themes. Yeah.
Got it. That's so cool. Like during that internship, did you learn anything about yourself or like about the world that you maybe didn't think of before?
I didn't learn this, but I feel like by the end of it, I felt like age really doesn't matter. Like if you show people that you are able to do a good job, they won't even look at your age. Like they were sending me on errands that I needed like to use my fake ID to get into like jobs, to talk to people, like picking up stuff, and they didn't even realize that I was so young. Yeah, it was very cool.
So you obviously want to work in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
What is like the dream career?
I have a few dream careers that I'm like bouncing between. A fashion editor, a magazine could be really cool, but as I said, magazines are really dying, so it'd probably have to be like a digital magazine. Or like a product developer for a big company like Forever 21. So basically what they do is they analyze and monitor trends, and they like tell the design team what's going to be big, and then like oversee their designs from runway to like a mass fashion. I think that is so cool.
That's really cool, yeah. This is kind of just like, who is your biggest inspiration? Like, that speaks to who you are as a person, do you think?
I'd honestly say my dad, not to be weird, but he's in the fashion industry, and like he kind of got me into fashion. And when I was little, he would bring home like mood boards. It was before everything was online, and he'd have them in our first house. We had like a study. He'd have them in our study, and we'd help him. Me and my sister would help him like thumbtack pictures together, and it'd be like per trend in the men's industry, and all the colors would go together and like the patterns, and I just remember loving that, and I think that's when I first realized I wanted to get into fashion. So, and I have him to thank for that.
So it was your father that
like,
really pushed that. That's so nice.
Huh.
Last question. What can you spend hours doing and like get totally distracted?
I always have like new little obsessions. Like right now it's Temple Run.
Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to say?
No? Well, thank you for interviewing me.
I think I got it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. In my interview with Alexa, I found that she's someone who's determined with a go-getter personality, both of which are a culmination of her various life worlds, her family, and her work and school careers. Her love for fashion began when she was a child and would watch her father, who she pins as her biggest inspiration, in the same industry. She understands the importance of hard work in putting yourself out there without letting her age hold her back, just as she did with her Nylon magazine internship. Her maturity and ambition to succeed in life is contrasted nicely with her laid-back philosophy that everything happens for a reason, and sometimes you just need a Temple Run break.